Hello, welcome to another game of Dragon Warriors. I've added portraits for the regular characters at the bottom of the screen for you, at least the ones who show up the most often, so you've got an idea of what the character kind of looks like. We're playing through Prince of Darkness, a mini-campaign, where they're trying to hunt down what happened to the King of Glissom, and to retrieve the mythical, magical Hearthfire, the embers of which were stored in magical chests in the King's Tower. They have journeyed north on this quest through the forest, in which they found a village named Mimir, which is all that apparently remains of an ancient city of Mimir that used to stand here at the foot of the Brack Mountains. The path onward seems to go through there, which may grant access to some kind of pass or tunnel or information that they need to get through the mountains. So, Alain remains behind, going through some of the records in the city and seeing if there's any useful information while you go ahead to scout. The old man from the village, who you rescued, hobbles on his burned feet down a winding forest track to the east, with you in tow. Before long, the rough dirt path underfoot turns to a cracked stone pavement, and you can see the ruins of ancient pillars rising out of the thickets on either side of you. Soon, you can clearly see the remains of buildings not yet quite overgrown by the leafy forest floor. Here and there, you see a crumbled wall and scattered stones. At length, you come to an open square area where no trees are growing. The remnants of once vast edifices stand at each corner of the square, and there is a crumbling pit at the centre. It is about 10 metres deep, and a circular stone staircase leads down to its bottom. Standing before the pit is a gigantic stone idol, which is presumably an effigy of the forgotten god Mimir. Its facial features are now completely eroded away, leaving only a shapeless trunk. A pair of crows sit atop it, watching you with interest. Clearly etched into the column on which the statue stands is a script that you recognise as an ancient form of Icelandic and a numerical system. It reads, "Find the 14 upright of the 26, followed by a succession of numbers in boxes." There is an image of that appended to the bottom of the character sheets. I will just add it to the screen for our friends. Okay. So, yeah, if you look at the character sheets, right at the bottom, after all the household stuff, you should be able to see the puzzle. What do you wish to do?
Well, I don't see the puzzle.
Refresh?
I will do, Jim. I will do.
It's the very last page.
Oh yeah, I found it there. I thought you meant it was on the bottom of each of our character sheets. Sorry, I'm looking
No.
here there.
Okay. The old man finds one of the fallen pillars and sits on it, humming to himself while you pootle around and look at things.
Find the 14th upright of the 26th.
Or was this a code, a cipher?
You would have perhaps expected some Norse runes or something, but instead you find these vaguely runic carvings of numbers and a language that you do know.
Someone's been etching it here, boss.
It is relatively unworn compared to the rest of the statue, which is a little peculiar, but maybe the rest of the statue was sheltering it.
Does it look recent, Grim?
No, there's sort of lichen and stuff growing over parts of it. It just seems to have been carved deep or looked after or maintained.
Hello.
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 We've already started,
Hello.
so you are live.
Oh, this looks like a cipher, perhaps.
Yes, perhaps Elaine has insight from his readings back at the village.
Perhaps I do.
If you check the very last page of the character sheets, there's a sort of runic tablet with numbers on it, which is the puzzle which is at the foot of a statue in the ruins of the city of Mimir.
Oh, I see.
Which the old man with the burnt feet led you to.
It's a number grid.
Is anyone good at solving puzzles?
Do you have a map of the labyrinth?
Not yet. Just pay attention to the first one to start with.
Okay. See if I can zoom in. So numbers. 10, 6, 10, 6, 13.
And the legend above it says, find the 14 upright of the 26. And it's written in Old Ellislandic, not as you might have otherwise suspected in Mercanian or one of the other Nordic languages.
Okay, looking at this and doing the math roughly, it says the 14th upright of the 26th. I calculate that to be, the right-hand side, the second row down, the 14 there, that's just above the 26th number. So I wonder if that could be what we're looking for. If it's a button we have to press or something like that on the thing. That's my guess anyway.
Hold on. This makes a good, hold on. There's a 14 there on the left-hand side. You see it's the second row down left.
Underneath the 6.
And then the numbers above is 6. The number below is 3. The number below that is 2, and the number below that is 1. I think. Or is that not a 1?
Looks
that-
like a doggy. Looks like a doggy in a box.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Could be some sort of, it looks like someone's done some animal carving or something. Because the thing opposite looks like an eye or something, doesn't it? The opposite side to that, there's like an eye sort of sketched.
You've got a creature on the left, an eye on the right, some sort of like star on the left, top left, and then a scepter on the right, top right.
I thought I had that for a second. Because if you add up all the numbers in the upright, there it adds up to 25.
All right. Because I was going across, you see, and I came to 26th, and the 26th number was the 13 on the third row, and there's 14 just above it.
Are you trying to commit Sudoku?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm rubbish at Sudoku. Rubbish at Sudoku.
22, 23, 24, 25. That's the 25th number, though. the 13, isn't it?
I made let me just double check.
If you want hints or tips, do let me know.
Hint.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Sorry, that is the 20. My bad. Sorry. Maths is never my strong point, even when it's in front of me.
If this is a cipher, it could be a transposed cipher. So the letters correspond to numbers, but rather than A being 1, it's been transposed. So A could be 10 or A could be 15.
What's transposed mean? English, dark English.
I've got intelligence 8 over here. You gotta help me out.
Let's see. Let's give you a clue then. Cesora, in your assassination missions, you've learned a few of the rudiments of ciphers, and you know that there are 26 letters in standard.
Yeah, there are 26 letters of the alphabet, aren't
in standard Ellislandic, and the letter E is the most common letter in the Ellislandic language.
So that'd be 4 then. A, B, C, D, E, no 5. Yep.
Yeah, but that's
No,
the thing.
no.
They don't correspond to the actual numbers.
No. So
So
E
if you find the most common number there, that would be E.
Most likely. It's not a sure thing.
and that looks like 3. 3 is the most common number, so that could be an E.
$14 upright.
Find the 14 upright of the 26.
I'm actually going to have to write... One second, how do I do this? Because no number actually goes higher than 26 either.
Well, the highest number's 14.
Yeah.
Which would match the legend at the top.
And 3 is an E, as you say, Jim. Yeah.
Well, typically, if it's a straight substitution, then E is the most common letter in the Ellislandic language. So, if you have a long enough piece of writing, then whichever substitution appears the most often will be the letter E. But it's no sure thing.
But that doesn't help entirely. I mean, if E is 3, then what is A? You know? Because you'd be like minus something, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily.
Unless it started back from 26. But then
Yes,
no number here is higher than 14.
No, if it's a cipher, then if the most common letter is 3, if the most common letter is an E, so that's a 3. The next most common letter
Is 11.
is an E. It could be 11. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to write this down.
There's quite a few 14s. Can they see this on YouTube?
Yes.
By the way.
Yes, they can.
Oh, good. Otherwise, this would be really weird. This would be very confusing. Tim. Not dumb.
We have another clue, please, Grim.
You want another clue?
Yes, please.
Okay, so 14 must be a subset of the 26, so there must be some commonality between those 14, presumably, letters.
And where is the place we're at?
The city of Mimir. Or the ruins thereof.
Mimir.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, look at the
Hold on.
first.
Wait, hold on.
Look at the first sequence. 10, 6, 10, 6, 13. Mimir. Mimir.
Right, got you now.
Okay.
As I grab you. So 10 could be M, and 6 could be
Aye.
I, and 13 is R.
And you reckoned that 3 was E.
Yeah.
So, someone want to jot it down or something?
Yeah, I'm trying to crack it now.
Yeah.
I need a pen, yeah? I got the notepad on my computer.
Right, so filled in some of the gaps. We need some more letters, don't we? So the second word, E blank blank ER.
E blank blank ER.
Here.
What's the second? I think the second most common letter is a T in English. So what's the? I think. How many 14s are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That second word could be enter.
Enter, yes, and T
And-
is 14. But bang on, yeah. So T is 14, and 11 is N.
Hold on. So that would make N 11.
The top right one's
T
enter.
is 14.
Top right
So
is
the
enter.
next one would be T something E. So that'd be the.
Yeah, so
So that
5.
means that 5 is
5 is H.
H.
Yeah, good call. 5 is H.
And
remind me.
then the next one is 12, 6, 14. We only know that 14 is T. So it's blank blank T.
So what was
And
11?
then it's 8,
That's-
11, blank
That's
11
N, isn't it?
is N. 3, 3 is
EE.
EE. Actually, I haven't written down E as being 3.
Right, what words
That would
what
help.
words
Yes.
what words have we got so far?
You've got
We got M, which is 10, I, which is 6, M. Sorry, I've written down M again.
That's words. That's letters.
R,
yeah.
What words?
R, which is
What
13. Oh, we got N, Mimir, enter the. Like, Mimir, enter the.
So what's the environment here?
So you're in amongst the ruins of presumably the city of Mimir. You're in what may have once been the city square.
Nice.
There's columns and broken walls and so on. A lot of it's overgrown, but the square remains relatively intact. This plinth is down in a pit in the middle of the square, directly before the statue of presumably Mimir, but it's so worn by time you can't make out the features.
Me. E. I wish I could do this in my head. To say the letters out
So-
loud.
I've got it written down.
13 is E.
1, 2, 3,
We
4,
got
6,
Mimir.
5.
Okay.
Enter again. I got that. Me enter. Right, the
Yeah.
last words are
Mimir
me.
and Mimir. Sorry.
Last 2 words
Me enter.
are me enter.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we got
I've got that.
Mimir enter the blank blank blank
T.
T blank NEE blank there blank I blank me enter.
Let me enter. At the bottom.
No, it's blank I blank.
Yes, I've got to Mimir enter the blank
City.
IT,
Do you
blank
think it could be city?
knee, blank there, something. Me enter.
Oh, I forgot that one. So the numbers we don't have are. We enter the. We don't have 12.
No.
We don't have 1, and we don't have 2.
Yes, we do have a 2.
Or 8. Was it 8 or 9?
There's a 9.
You know what 9 is though. Sorry, Mimir enter the.
What's 9?
Oh yeah, we don't have 9 either. Or 8.
Or 1 or 2? Or 12?
Nine,
So
8.
So there's one word which is blank IT, 3 letters.
3-letter word ending with it. That's should be easy. Hit.
Hit. Yes.
Could be hit. Yeah.
And me into the
Is there anything in common between the letters that you've identified?
They all come from the alphabet.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, this is true.
That's my dumb answer. That's why I never could any. This is why I never went on Countdown. Compliments and vowels don't do it.
Where's Carol Vorderman when we need her?
Maybe she's the Lady of the Lake.
We've got Carol Vorderman. Where's the skull and the staff? Where's she?
I'll have a sword, please, Carol.
I'll have a chalice.
I think we're stuck. So the fifth word there is blank N double E blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
Is the guy still there who's there? His book, aren't you?
Yeah, he's still there.
Oh! That fourth word. That could be a P. It could be pit. Enter the pit.
Enter the pit.
If we're thinking demonic pits, that's my thinking.
Well, is there a pit here?
You're in a pit, looking at the
Pit.
tablet.
Oh, we're in a pit. Oh, sorry, I missed that.
That could be it then, shouldn't it?
So,
P. So that means 12 is P.
enter the pit. So we're in the pit.
That's the only 12 in the entire thing. So that's 12 sorted. Next. They come to me in time. Give me about another 2 hours. I'll have another letter for you.
Does that suggest anything more about the letters that you've deciphered?
A pit's normally underground, so something about being beneath or under.
So the numbers relate to the letters in the alphabet, don't they? So
It's a subset of 14 letters from within the 26.
Yeah.
There must be something that identifies them.
Yeah, the numbers are in alphabetical order, aren't they? So the 3 is the E, so that's the low. So that's really low. So we've got 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 must be below E in the alphabet. Bid. Yes. Bid. So it's murmur, enter the pit, something. There, bid me enter.
One sec. A, B, C, D, E. 2, 3. So yeah, it's literally the letters of the alphabet in order.
So 8 and 9. So let's see.
A, B, C, D, E.
So
F,
10 was
G,
M.
H.
M.
So if 10 was M, then
L and K. Oh, it's Neil. Right. Murmur, enter the pit. Kneel there, bid me enter. Get in.
Shazam. Uncharacteristic barbarian intelligence wins the day.
Oh, I've got one of those. I've got the mind of a seer.
That vision quest must have done you some good.
I certainly don't have the mind of a mystic. Not in real life.
That's about meditation and looking inwards. This is demanding that you look outwards and perceive things. It's just not what mysticism's about at all.
I perceive this is a hard puzzle.
Okay, so you've deciphered it. Now what?
Right. Well, this is one of those profound Lord of the Rings moments.
It's literally telling you to enter the pit, kneel there, and ask to be let in.
Kneel before the tablet and say, "Bid me enter."
Nothing happens.
How about doing that for the statue? Like
Mermere, bid me enter.
Close enough. Okay. Right. The stone moves outwards and then grinds upwards, driven by magic, revealing more stone steps of the same construction as the ones that led you down here, though considerably less worn, heading downwards into an underworld.
And another 12 of these puzzles.
No!
Yeah, when I was on my vision quest last week, I used mushrooms to smoke and some moss to eat at a cracking time.
He's not talking real life here, is he?
No.
Right, I'm going to go first, Jim.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use my inner sense to see if there's any traps ahead of us.
What's the chance on that?
11. I have to get under my side.
Okay. Give us a roll then.
Oh, you jammy bastard. 10.
Okay, you're not sensing any immediate potential for doom. You gonna light your lantern and descend the stairs then?
Yeah, cautiously.
Okay. With the rest
Sword drawn, lantern in the other hand.
Yeah. And the rest of you filtering behind?
Yeah.
It's single file only. It's a flight of dank, slightly slimy, moss-covered steps, though the stairs themselves are still straight and true. Takes you down about 10 metres into the earth and terminates in a rusted iron gate that hangs slightly ajar. Beyond it, you can see a rectangular vestibule running lengthways across the gate.
Is the old man coming down?
He's going to stay up top and wait in case you need help.
So, Elaine, I missed the email. Why are we here? What are we doing here? Elaine?
What's a vestibule?
Vestibule.
This place was sealed. What's the threat here? What's the danger?
Well,
A vestibule, it's kind of the best vest you own, isn't it?
It's an antechamber, hall, or lobby next to the outer door of a building. So it's the dungeon porch. Okay?
Oh, God save us from the heathen
I was changing my shirt.
and the illiterates.
That's fine. Yeah, you're here because you're trying to find a way across the mountain and any further information about what lurks for you in Breck.
The king got kidnapped by big birds. The king might be dead. They
Oh, yeah,
also
I remember
stole a
that, yeah.
flame.
Yeah.
So it could be a secret underground tunnel
Whoa.
under the mountains.
Yeah.
Touching all sorts, causing crackles. Let's go through the vestibule.
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 Okay. Is Cesora going to press on then, seeing as he's in front?
Cautiously, yeah.
Okay. You very cautiously push the rusting gate. Clang. Very stealthy.
Thank you, Grim. Thank you, Grim.
The vestibule is 4 meters deep and about 16 meters across. There is a stone plinth with 2 shallow depressions etched into its top, standing right in front of the grille by which you have entered. There are 2 rusted iron pans on either side of the plinth, supported by rusted iron stands. A number of begrimed copper coins lie on top of those. You can dimly make out the remains of some powder or other in the shallow depressions of the plinth. Without warning, stone panels in the east and west walls of the vestibule swing upward with a violent grinding sound, revealing corridors beyond. You see 2 grey, shambling figures marching towards you down these, with a curiously mechanical step. In one hand, each holds a dish, in the other, a short sword. They wear antique copper armour, crusted with verdigris.
Not more mummies.
Indeed, the very same. There might be step mummies, though. You don't recognise them.
Was it? Is your curse bingo card full yet, Cesora? Or do you want to do more curses?
My curses have been rectified, girl.
Right. So, initiative then. They're not going to reach you for a turn. So, Cesora, these 2 copper-armoured mummies come shambling out of these side entrances towards you. One from the left, one from the right.
Jokers to the left, here I go. Right, can I actually sidestep and let another person in to join the fight?
Well, you're already in the room. I assumed you'd filtered through, so...
Right. Time to liven things up a bit. You can chuck a flashbang at one of them.
Are you going to shout duck and cover, or whatever the medieval equivalent of that is?
Something about that, yes.
Yes.
Fire in the hole.
Isn't it have a care?
Yeah, that's the phrase. Yes.
Hark! Petard! Okay.
It is
That's
have a
what I'm
care.
saying.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
I'm shouting fire in the hole and I'm chucking the firecracker.
Cavey. Okay, which one are you throwing it at? Because they're coming from opposite directions.
The one which is nearest to me, so that would be my left.
Okay. Right. The chemical mixture goes off with an enormously bright flash. Even with your eyes shut, you've got sort of glowing after images behind it. The mummy recoils from the blast and just sort of tries to get its bearings, but it's definitely stunned and blinded.
I would have chucked it in the middle, but they're both coming from 2 different alcoves.
Yeah,
So
it wouldn't have affected them if you chucked it in the middle.
Sorry.
Okay. I'll take Elaine's go for him then. He is presumably going to charge the mummy on the left and give it a solid smack with his sword. So he hits, gets past its armor, and strikes it a telling blow. Right, so as the mummy recoils from the blast... I took your go for you, I hope that's okay. As the mummy recoils from the blast, Elaine leaps forward and strikes it a mighty thwack with his sword.
How'd you guess?
I figured it was probably what you were going to do. So, yeah. Dust sort of flies out of it. Ancient dried up stick-like bones crack. The flesh is like a wasp's nest, all papery. It just kind of breaks easily under the sword, but it's still going. Abbas, then.
How far away from us are they?
So, the doorways they came out of are about 15 meters. Well, no, it's only 14 meters wide, isn't it? So they were about 7 meters each direction from where you came in.
Would I be able to reach for them with the spear or not?
Yeah, if you shuffle forward a bit and give them a good stab.
Yeah, I'll try and stab you one with a spear then.
Okay.
I'll go for whichever one's already tried being attacked.
Okay, it's got no defense then. Yeah, because it's blind and stunned and has already been stabbed. So, yeah, you go for the same one as Elaine.
Miss. I got a 19.
Okay. You're slightly disoriented by the loud flash and bang in such a confined space, and that leads you to miss. Right. It will need a crit to hit Elaine because it's stunned and blinded, but it sort of swings its sword blindly, trying to hit you, failing utterly. And then its vision slowly comes back. The other mummy shuffles forward and will be able to attack next turn. Right. Turn 2. Caesura.
Oh, well, I didn't attack.
Didn't you?
No.
Where are you? Oh, somehow I skipped over you. Alright, go for it.
Well, I'll go for the fresh one. On the right.
Okay, so you hurtle towards that one with your sword.
Blood-curdling scream, swinging the sword in the air.
Yeah. Take 12 away from your attack.
Quite impressive.
Yeah.
I'll roll the 3.
It's not blind, so... So you hit it?
Yeah. 3's a hit.
Magic sword, armor bypass is inevitable, so just roll damage.
10 hits.
10
Ouch.
hits. Yeah. Okay. So your sword strikes into its papery flesh, but doesn't get enough purchase to really rip it to pieces because it's so crumbly and ancient. But you knock a good chunk out of it, exposing its spine. Another hit like that should polish it off. Right, so now on to turn 2, and Caesura's go.
With attack, the one on the left.
Okay, so the one that both Abbas and Elaine are attacking.
Yes.
Okay, so you come round the other side where there's room, and try and give it a stab. Okay, take 4 away from your attack and roll.
8.
8. Is that a hit? It will be with your attack, because assassins get high attack. Okay. The magic sword's going to go straight through the armor, so roll damage.
7.
Right. You come in from the side and drive your sword into the trunk of its body. It gives an unearthly howl and crumbles into dust. Into black dust. What's your magical defense?
8.
Okay. You feel dark magic coalescing around you, but it fails to take. And then is gone. Elaine, the mummy crumbles into black dust before you.
The other one remains, I assume.
Yes, it does.
Take a swing at that.
Okay, you wheel around, close the distance with a rapid run, and go for it. Take 6 away from your attack. And roll.
Look. Yes, I hit, barely.
Okay. And roll damage.
Six, so it's 9 total.
Okay. Yeah, you spring forward as it's recoiling from Becca's mighty blow, and drive your sword straight through its chest, piercing whatever remains of its heart. It crumbles into white dust upon the floor before you.
Ah, too easy.
Both are destroyed. What's your magical defense?
My magical defense is 7.
7. Okay. You feel the curse of the mummy settling on you, but the armor of God protects you and causes it to slide away without taking effect. Plus, you still have a curse, so maybe you can't have that many at once.
I do still have a curse.
Yes,
don't I?
you're occasionally haunted by the spirits of Iron Age warriors. It just hasn't come up. So-
Yeah.
Okay, so both are destroyed. One is now just a heap of black dust in one side of the vestibule, with a sword and some scraps of rotten armour, and the other one is a pile of white dust on the other side of the vestibule, with scraps of armour and an old short sword.
Do these big plates in the middle of this room look like scales going?
They may have once been scales. But they've rusted away so much, it's hard to tell.
How high up's the ceiling from the ground in this room?
It's a fairly low ceiling. It's only about 6 foot high.
Okay. What do you guys think?
There's no other exits now.
Not that you can see. There's the places that they came from, where stone doors sort of ground up into the ceiling that were concealed before.
Let's have a bit of a search around.
Okay.
Must be a secret or a concealed entrance, isn't it?
Right. At the end of these short corridors, they're maybe 5-6 meters long. They terminate in small rooms, which are filled with dust and ancient, sort of half rotted away armor and swords sticking out of the dust. White dust in one side, black dust in the other side.
It's the last time, sorry.
Was there anything on the corpses of the remains?
Just these battered old short swords, but they're not worth keeping. They're not magic or anything.
What type of armour were they wearing?
It looked like copper. It was covered in verdigris. It may have been bronze, or you're not sure exactly.
Because the bronze men came here last time, didn't they?
Yes, the legionnaires supposedly came through here and disappeared.
Never came back.
Yeah.
So we got this. Was it a dish or a bowl in the middle? Did you say?
Yeah. So, in the centre of the chamber, there's a stone table with a couple of shallow depressions in its top, sort of remains of dust, and what seems to be the rusted remains of what maybe was a scale at one point, but that's not directly above the depressions in the plinth. It's hard to piece together the mechanism, but there is a sort of a smudging of dust in each of the depressions. Well, it could be ash.
So, what do you think we should? We're supposed to put some of each dust into each of these bowls. What do you think?
Quite possibly.
Okay.
We've got two bowls, two
depressions. Yeah.
two different types of dust, black and white.
Okay. So, how do you want to go about this?
I think we should just sort of carefully scoop up a handful of dust and
Okay.
one.
So Yeah,
One black and one white,
one black
and
and one white. Yeah.
and then put them in together at the same time and simultaneously
So what?
into the.
So what? One in one side and one in the other, or both in the same one, or?
I think if it was the black on the left and the right on the.
The black
right?
was on the right, the white was on the left.
Sorry about that. I was told to make a shopping list.
That's okay.
Black on the right, white on the left. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you take the 2 handfuls of dust, hold them over the depressions, and drop them in at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
One sec. You're dropping dust into depressions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, all the things I miss when I'm gone.
You went to the latrine. Yeah.
Okay. As the dust hits the depressions in the stone table, it flares and burns, not as bright as the alchemical flashbang, but still pretty bright. And it forms a wisp of smoke that drifts towards the opposite wall, and as it strikes the wall, another stone door, the third one, rumbles up into the ceiling, revealing a way through to the next chamber.
I am the riddle master.
Okay, you can tag in, Becca, then there you go.
Yeah.
You can go
Feeling
home
like
and become a skald. Okay, so same party order. Scizora take the lead and move through.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. You enter a long, broad hallway. Just within the range of your lights, you can see a large bronze-plated door at the northern end. As you pass over the threshold, you notice a pile of what appears to be discarded clothing off to one side.
Skeletons. Had to be skeletons.
I just walk over to the pile of discarded clothing and sort of kick it over with my foot.
Okay, as you move over to it, the door that you'll pass through to come in drops back into place with a thunderous slam. Disconcerting, but you don't seem to be sealed in because there's still the door at the other end. The pile of old clothing proves to be the cloak-wrapped skeletal figure of an ancient scribe. He still has his pen and his wax tablet and a couple of scrolls on him. Disturbingly, the top of his skull has been neatly removed, but apart from that, the skeleton is largely unremarkable.
He appears to be trapede, whatever that word is. That means
Trepanning, yeah.
yeah, that's it. Let's have a look at the scroll. His scrolls.
It's writings in the old Latin equivalent. Do you write it? Read it?
I do.
You do. Okay. They appear to be the incoherent and badly written ravings of a madman. Describing fields and temples and lengthy descriptions of sunlight and air. It's just a weirdly focused but desperate scribble.
Looks like his last will and testament then.
Seems like nothing of importance, but I'll take them with me just in case.
Yeah, you never know. The hallway is ominously silent once you stop fiddling around with the corpse. You do notice, however, that there are ancient dark scrape marks on the stone of the panel on this side, as if the skeleton had been madly scrambling to get out when he perished. You also notice streaks of dark colour across the lighter stone of the floor, almost certainly more blood. The hall is otherwise empty, apart from a discarded sword left halfway up its length. You didn't notice it at first because it was covered in webs. The cutting edges of the sword are practically blunt, as if it had been hammered against something hard until it lost its edge. The bronze door in the north wall, when you approach more closely to it, seems to be slightly ajar.
Does it look any writing on the wall? Like someone said, use that sword to like chisel any scripture on the walls.
No. There are scrape marks here and there, but some of them may have been made with the sword, like someone was desperately slamming it against every rock and every surface in here.
Is my traps thing still active, or is that just there for that scene?
Anytime you want to check for traps, you tell me and you can make a roll.
I'll try again, Jim.
Okay.
Under my side talent again?
Yep.
4. Ooh, that's lovely.
Let me see. Weirdly, no. Someone got trapped in here, but you're not sensing any sort of deliberate trap relating to this room.
Do I know where it was actually triggered, or?
No, there doesn't seem to be anything here. You look at the places where you would set a trap or you would hide a mechanism. You can't really see anything there.
Who's got the sphere?
Who's got the what, sorry?
Who's got the sphere?
Spear.
Who uses a spear in the team?
Abbas uses it.
Abbas.
Abbas, dear friend.
Yes.
Can I borrow your spear for a second, please?
Well, what are you going to do with it?
I'm going to pry open the door. Because it's slightly ajar. So I'm going to sort of like use it to open the door a bit more. If you understand, yeah.
Okay.
Come on, you'll get it back. You'll get it back. I'm not going
Don't
to
break it, please.
It's magic. It's essentially unbreakable, except in very specific circumstances. Okay, so you want to shove the door open slightly with the spear, yeah? Okay. 1 second. Right. What's Caesora's evasion?
8.
8. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Caesora sidles up to the door and hauls it open with the leverage of the spear. The moment he does so, a huge clawed almost insect-like hand snaps out of the darkness beyond the doorway, grabs hold of the spear and hauls on it. Unfortunately, Caesora isn't quick-witted enough to let go of the spear, and he's hauled through into the room beyond. So, right. You're facing some unknown, strange thing beyond the door.
Tea break.
Better not be low pan.
Yeah, you'll need your stamina, so stop for tea, and it can stop and eat Caesora, and then you can go at it hammer and tongs. Right, first turn of combat. It used its surprise turn to yank Caesora through the door, and it's slower than Caesora, and slightly surprised that when it grabbed the spear, there was someone on the end of it. So, Caesora, you are dangling from the handle of the spear before an enormous beast. It looks something like out of character, you would say it looks a bit like a praying mantis. But in character, you've never seen a praying mantis, so just some kind of horrible demon bug thing.
Okay.
Well, like Starship Troopers.
Kind of, yeah, but more like
Is it giggerish? Is it
more like a praying mantis.
Kinda, but not copyright infringing.
Yeah, exactly. So, right, what does Caesora want to do?
Well, it's got one end of the spear and I've got the other end, right?
Yep.
Run it through. So it's basically holding on to it.
Yeah.
So while it's holding on to it, I'm going to with with all my strength. I'm going to like
Try and
Skebab
shove
it.
the spear into it. Okay.
Skebab it.
Let's have a look. Take 3 away from your attack and roll.
1.
1. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a hit, bypass armor, roll damage twice, and tell me the result.
Just damage twice, yeah.
Yep.
14 altogether.
14. Okay. Right.
You want the spear? You can fucking have the spear.
You sort of swing backwards as you dangle from the spear, brace your legs against the wall, and shove with all your strength. The tip of the spear strikes its chitinous chest and cracks the armor slightly. It roars in anger and makes a grab for you instead of the spear with its forelegs, which snap out with the speed of whips. What's your defense?
10.
10. Right. You managed to twist out the way of one. The other one strikes you. What's your armor rating?
2. Armor factor 2.
Okay. The sawtooth edge of the blade on its hand cuts into you deeply for 4 wounds of damage. And it's the bladed arm of it. It's like got like backward hooks on it, so it's actually dug into your flesh and stuck there.
So basically, like a corrugated blade, it's like gone in, and then you pull it out, it's going to cause damage. Yeah.
Like a bellows spear. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Elaine. All you've really seen so far is something grabbed Cesora, who was the guy with the lantern, and hauled him through the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna run after Elaine. Elaine? That's me.
Can't even remember his own name. Run after Cesora.
I'm so shit with names. You actually got the names on the bottom here as well.
I do.
I'm looking at them. I'm gonna run after Cesora.
Yeah. Okay. His lantern's gone out in the dark. So you're somewhat guessing where to strike. So take 7 away from your attack and roll.
Yeah. Can't find my dice roller. Oh wait, here. Okay, I'll just open a new tab. 7 away from my... And... that could be... wait, 7 away from my attack?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hit.
Okay. Yeah, so you charge forward, roughly estimate where the thing is, and strike out with your sword. Make an armor bypass roll, for it is a demon, and therefore tough.
8.
Okay. You strike at it, your sword ricochets off its chitin, throwing up sparks, and then the sort of strobe light effect as you whack it repeatedly with your sword, you can see this gigantic mantis thing in front of you.
Ah!
Right.
Face me, demon!
Becca's go.
Okay, I'm going to charge in. I'm going to attack one of its legs.
Okay. Take.
Full-blooded low blow.
Okay. Take 7 away from your attack and roll.
Someone pick up the lantern.
10, that's a hit.
Okay. Roll for armor bypass.
Oh, doink.
Would you get bad?
Yeah. Boing.
Okay, so you come charging in, sort of slide, gauging where it is from the sort of stroboscopic effect of Elaine, apparently using his sword as a flint and tinder. smack into its leg with your sword, and despite its spindly appearance, all you end up doing is using your sword as a sort of lever to flip yourself along on the floor. Right. Abbas's go. Cesora still has your spear.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to rely on the old sword then.
Yep. Okay, so you haul out your sword and move in. But you won't be able to attack.
Okay.
I presumed everyone else had their weapons drawn. No, that's a bit unfair of me. You probably drew your sword when you handed off your spear, so alright, you can have an attack.
You got any defense left or not?
Yes, but only from the fact that it's dark and you can't see it very well, so just take 5 away from your attack.
Okay. Yeah, I hit.
Woot. Okay, roll to bypass its armor.
Sorry. Wrong dice. That used to using the spear. Rolling 2d4 instead of a d8, sorry.
Oops.
Similar result, surely. Plus 2. 8 on the arm bypass.
Okay, that just ricochets off, I'm afraid. Okay, so yeah, you're all beating on this thing, but its unnatural body, this weird chitinous flesh that it has, is just causing your blows to bounce off it.
I'm just going to yell at Brother Abbas as I sort of sense him charging in along with us, and yell, "Forget this! Grab the lantern! And be of some help!"
How insulting. Right, what's Cesora doing?
I'm going to pierce it more with this spear.
Okay, so you struggle against the arm that's stabbed through you, and try and shove the spear again. Okay, make an attack roll at -7.
That's counting for the darkness as well, is it?
Yes.
Good.
6.
Is that... Well, what's your attack's 20-something, isn't it? So that's still going to be a hit.
19.
Okay. Roll to bypass armor with the spear. So that's 2d4 plus 2.
8.
Okay, it just scrapes across its chest without biting in this time.
Mm-hmm.
This hellish thing. Right. It mutters blasphemies in rather sort of debased Latin, and its face opens up. You sort of see it in the strobing effect of the swords clashing off it and the sparks flying off, and a spike-like proboscis jabs down towards Cesora. Right. Right, what's Cesaura's defense?
10.
10. Armor?
2.
How much health you got left?
14. No, I had 16, so that's -4 previously. 12.
Okay, take another 8 wounds.
Ow!
The proboscis rams into the top of your head, bites through the armor, digs into the skin, and glances off slightly to the side, tearing a great gash in your scalp. Blood begins to pour down into your eyes as it rears back for another go. Elaine.
I'm actually going to try and hit it this time.
Okay.
Sort of hoping that someone picks up the lantern next turn.
Okay, so -7.
I do
roll.
hit.
You do hit. Okay, roll for
Yes.
armor bypass.
Nine this time.
Okay, you find a gap in its between its thorax and its abdomen, and drive your sword into one of these sort of wheezing spicules. Roll damage.
9 again.
Okay, you strike deep, black blood, stinking of sulphur, sprays out of its wound, and it shrieks again and starts to sort of sag to one side. You think one more decent blow should finish it off. Speaking of that, Becca.
Okay, I'll get up and I'll try to land a proper hit.
Okay.
So
you sort of slide to a halt, pick yourself up.
Yep. I'll try to thrust in between its chitinous carapace.
Okay. Take 7 away from your attack and roll.
10 as a hit.
Okay. And armor bypass roll.
Oh, 5.
Okay. It twists at exactly the wrong moment, and the tip of your sword just goes doink off the chitin. Abbas.
This is tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to try my sword again.
Ignoring the lantern, then. Okay, take 5 away from your attack and roll.
Hit.
Okay, roll to bypass its armor.
5.
Ting! Right, new turn. Caesura, your head hurts.
Do I have enough energy for one last thrust?
Yes.
Go for that then.
And you can't be any more blind than you already were, so there's no additional penalty. Right, take 7 away from your attack and roll.
2.
And roll to bypass its armor.
10.
And roll damage.
8.
Right. With one last desperate shove, you drive the spear against it. It slides and skitters across its armor, and then goes between a couple of the chitinous plates and digs into the flesh beyond. It gives one last horrendous shriek, and then boils away in a cloud of sulphur that leaves you with your eyes weeping with tears and choking for air until the noxious smell finally dissipates.
And I'll land in the heap and go,
Yeah.
fuck me. Oh.
And
Bloody hell was that?
then you recover the lantern and light it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone get the blasted lantern.
We do have the lantern, so...
Once you turn it back upright, the slightly glowing ember at the end of the wick picks up the oil. It flares into light, and you can see the room that you're in. Of the demon that attacked you, there is no sign. However, there are 8 stone pillars, 4 either side of this hall, and at the far end it terminates in another door. These 8 pillars are fashioned in the shape of women, with their hands up against the ceiling in various poses, as if they're holding the world up. One of the figures is clutching a harp in her spare hand. Another one sort of holding the ceiling with one hand and leaning on her other hand as if lost in thought. And so on. One of them has a scroll. One of them has a sextant. One of them seems to have been caught in mid-pose while dancing. Another one carries brushes between the fingers of her offhand. And one has animals sort of around her feet, almost like a Disney princess. Is that all of them? No. There's one with her hand cupped to her mouth as if she's calling out or giving a speech. I think that's all of them. So, thoughtful. The lyre or harp or whatever it is. The sextant. The dancer. The shouter. The painter. The one with the animals. And then at the far end, there's a door. Wide set of double doors, set in gleaming brass.
Meanwhile, I'm fuming at Abbas. Abbas, why did you not grab the lantern when I asked you?
Killed it eventually.
You're almost useless fighting in darkness. You need lights to be able to see. You could
Not
have
all of
killed
us.
Cesora.
Not all of us, Sir Knight. I can actually cast something on them that makes me as good a sight as an elf.
But we cannot see.
Yeah. We solved the problem. Don't get your armor in a twist. Next picture, I'll go for the lantern if it's that kind of situation. I promise you, Sir Knight.
Does anyone have any healing potions for Cesura?
Out of character, it is kind of important because we get penalties to our attack and defense if we fight in darkness, and I can't carry. Becca uses a two-handed sword, and I use a sword and a shield, so we can't carry the lantern.
It's just unfortunate that Cesura was carrying the lantern. Yeah.
So Cesora and you are the only two people who can carry the lantern.
Well, if I had my spear, I wouldn't be able to carry the lantern because I'd need two hands for the spear as well.
True. So lantern duty.
Which means Cesora's the only person who can carry the lantern.
Yeah.
I'll drill a hole in the spear and we can hook the lantern into the spear. Problem solved.
My internet dropped just as I land on my fucking arse.
Welcome back. We were just trying to figure out if anyone had any healing potions for you. I'll stop.
I've got an apple in my backpack.
Yeah?
That work? That work, Grim?
It might do. Do you want to eat one?
Yeah, I'll try one.
Actually, they're on your horse.
You're boring.
I have
You
a
are
healing
boring.
potion.
Thank you, Jack.
I have a healing potion in my backpack, but I kind of begrudge giving it to you because you took my last one as well.
Okay, you can tank then. Surly. I'll let you tank. God.
I normally do.
Okay, from now on, you're tanking, Surly. You're tanking.
Okay, so you can have 7 health back from quaffing Elaine's potion.
Yeah. I actually have 2 healing potions. Somehow. I think one of them was one of the ones I got in the fortress one as well.
That's the healing amulet that you've got. But you do have another healing potion in your backpack, yes. Yeah. I have been keeping track, so if you've got them, you've got them. Yeah, but Cesora can have 7 health points back from quaffing the potion, and his scalp wound knits together a bit. It's not like your face is your best quality anyway, so...
How long have you been on the road, Grim?
Dunno. Sometime.
Well, how long did it take to come to this mound?
I think this is the third day since you left.
Right.
Okay, you say you dropped out, so you missed the description of the room. Okay, so there's 8 pillars in the room, 4 on each side. Each one is carved in the shape of a woman, and each woman is either carrying something or posed in a certain way. So as well as holding up the ceiling, she's doing something else. There's one who seems lost in thought, with her hand to her chin. There's one with a harp or a lyre or something at her belt. There's one with a sextant. There's one who seems to be mid-dance. There's one with her hand to her mouth as if she's shouting or giving a speech or something. There's one with paintbrushes between her fingers. There's one with animals coiled around her feet.
What's a sextant, Jim?
It's a navigation tool.
All right.
I'll get the brother his spear back.
Sorry, what?
I'll give him his spear back, brother. Abbas is his spear back.
Yeah. Well,
There you go, buddy.
served you well.
Also, the old man said that Mermir was a god of wisdom, didn't he?
Yes, wisdom and knowledge.
Well, the
So these
sextant is
four-
all to do with knowledge.
These 4 statues seem to represent aspects of wisdom, don't they? Music, art,
Yeah. There's 8 pillars in total there, but yeah.
navigation,
Navigation is a
philosophy.
form of art.
Art and science as terms used to be interchangeable, so
Ah. Could you say what the statues are again?
yeah. So there's one with a scroll, one with her hand to her chin, one with a musical instrument, one with a navigational instrument, one in mid-dance, one that appears to be shouting or speaking, one with paintbrushes between her fingers, and one with animals at her feet.
What are they made out of, Grim?
They are made out of the same stone that the pillars above ground were made of.
So the one with the scroll could be an academic. The one with the hand to the chin could be a philosopher.
And the doors at the far end are big double doors that suggest that the corridor's wider and you'll be able to move 2 abreast up there. And they're covered in bronze.
The one with the sextant is knowledge as well. So
There are many kinds of knowledge.
I've had a look around at the statues. I'm not detecting any magical auras off them, are they?
If you take a closer look, there is powerful dormant magic present in each statue.
Powerful.
They're drawing on power from the earth, and it's going through the magical artistry that went into creating these figures. So each one has a powerful built-up magical charge.
My friends, they appear to have some magical properties from the beneath the earth, like some sort of magical charge in each of them.
So they're basically channeling it then.
I can tell, yes.
Yeah. Oh, my head hurts. Oh.
It's that puzzle we had to solve earlier, isn't it? I still have a headache from that.
No. That fucking that feature gave me a nut. Oh. Oh.
Must have been a Rangers fan. Hey.
Nice one. Nice one.
Perhaps if there's nothing here, should continue.
What's on the floor, Grim?
It's
Is it
just stone tiles.
This room
Can I
is
just-
obviously. No, you go.
Could I just gently tap one of the statues with the wooden end of my spear, just to see if anything happens?
Which one?
The one with the paintbrushes, the artist.
Okay.
The artist.
You tap that one with your spear, and as you do so, you hear a lilting feminine voice come out of the statue. The rest of you hear this as well. She speaks for about a minute and then falls silent again. You cannot make head nor tail of the language.
Did anyone understand that?
No.
Did she
Maybe
glow
they
when
can-
she was speaking?
No. But you could have sworn in the dancing shadows from the lantern light that her lips were moving.
Maybe they were constructed to be pillars of knowledge or something like that, but only if you can understand what they're saying. If we could, speak the language. Maybe it's a very, very ancient language.
Do you have a spell that can help you communicate?
No. Afraid not. I don't think I have. No. That would be more the mage's area of expertise, not mine.
How far apart the statues going?
How far apart?
Yeah.
Maybe 4 meters apart.
So we can't take 2 each and sort of like tap them all at unison.
No, not really.
The double doors in the leading out of here, are they closed?
Okay, you sidle up to them and give them a nudge. They are not closed. They look like they'll open if you just give them a slightly harder push.
Looks like we're not locked in here, so... Do you want to spend another 10 minutes or so trying to figure out what these statues do, or should we continue?
Let's continue. I don't think there's anything for us here.
Okay. Through the door. Yeah, there's a double wide corridor that terminates in another similar brass-covered double door. But just before that door, the passage goes off at right angles. So you can either go straight on and through the double doors into the next chamber, or you can head off to the right.
Diversion. Do you say? I think we should explore every avenue of this place.
Well, it's only dangerous, isn't it? This is a dangerous place.
Yeah, it seems to be tests, is the impression you're getting, between riddles and combat prowess.
We haven't really come across any traps, per se.
No.
It could be an underground arena. It could be an underground arena testing people's abilities.
So, let's investigate.
Okay. So are you going through the next set of doors?
There's a passageway
Or
to
the
the
passageway.
side.
Yes, there is. So do you want to take the passageway
So-
or the doors?
Let's have a look, see where it goes.
Okay. Right. It's a very long passageway that goes beyond the reach of the lantern, off to the east. It has 2 shallow depressions in the floor that seem to run the entire length of the passage. And they end in a small hole right where the sort of right-hand hook of the corridor is. In quiet moments, you can hear the echo of a slow, monotonous drip from the far end of the passageway, sort of echoing down the rocky walls. So, do you want to press on down that way? It stretches out ahead of you.
I just look back at the others and...
Yeah, let's press on, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you head down. Right. These 2 grooves in the ground, you start to notice fluid running down them. Very, very slowly.
I'll go down on one knee, lick my finger, put my finger in, and then sort of like tap it on my tongue. Does it taste like anything? Like petrol, oil?
So it's the consistency of blood. Can you make a perception roll, please?
Perception. 3.
3. Okay. It's a poison, a very, very old recipe. What's your health?
It was only a dab, Jim. I'm not taking a fucking.
What's your health?
Well, I've got 7 back from that potion, so that would be up to 11.
Okay, yeah, it's not enough to poison you.
Where did these incisions seem to go? Just
They carry on stretching further down the corridor. You'll have to go further to find out.
I presume you want me to lead again, Cillian, or are you quite happy leading this time?
Are you muted?
I think
I'm
I
not
can take the lead if you're low of strength.
No, I'm all right. It's just the indentations, that liquid which is rolling down, is a very old poison I've not used in a long time.
There is poison running along the ground beneath us.
In the incisions on either side, if it's one thinking. So it's obviously poisoned, so like liquids being fed down into another chamber, possibly. That's what I'm saying. Do you want me to sneak up ahead?
Alright, if you think that's prudent.
Okay, I'll sneak up ahead to him.
Okay. It is dark. Are you going to leave the lantern behind with the others?
Yes.
Okay. So you're kind of stumbling forward in the dark.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Give me a second.
That same speech. I would have said it in German, but I can't speak in German.
Right. It's pitch dark. Occasionally, you can see something sort of glittering ahead in what little lamplight reaches this far. And as you carry on sort of groping your way forward, you suddenly feel something or someone sort of stumble into you.
Okay. Does it sort of like, is it startled as well, as much as I am?
Yes, you hear a feminine voice go, "Whoop!"
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just like going to, if I can, try and sort of take a couple of steps back and sort of like sidestep around it.
Okay, so you step back as best you can. You feel air sort of brushing across your face as if someone's sort of reaching around. And you hear someone speaking in your native language. Hello, someone there?
How old does it sound?
That voice sounds really familiar. Young, but not a child.
Does it sound elvish by any chance?
No. Make an intelligence roll.
3.
Reminds you of a barmaid you were sweet on back in Migov.
Okay. Obviously, I'll say the name which comes to my head. Blah.
Oops.
Whoa!
Yeah.
I'll say the name quietly. Blah.
Yeah, give me a sec. Making me come up with names. Agrippina.
Who's been listening to Agrippa then?
Okay, the voice says, Cisora, is that you?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Hold still. Hold still so I can find you.
I'll take another step back and I'll say, what are you doing here?
I don't know. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know how I'm here. But I am here. You gonna help me get out?
Who did you come here with?
I just seem to appear here out of nowhere.
Did she not die or something, Grim? Is that why she's haunting me?
No, as far as you know, she's still alive and still slinging mead.
Okay. How long have you been down here?
Seconds.
Seconds.
Yes.
What was the last thing you remember doing, except for drinking mead?
I was mopping the floors.
Oh, right, okay.
You feel the air as she keeps trying to reach out and find you, homing in on your voice.
Okay, I take another. How far? Good.
You've taken 3 steps back and you went quite a long way down the corridor.
Yeah. Every time when the voice is getting close to me, I'll take a couple of steps back, but still speak. So it's like swish, swish, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like slowly but surely bringing her into the light, you know?
Sisora,
So
it's
I'm
dark.
so-
I'm scared. Let me find you.
So we can hear this as well.
I'm looking at-
They're not speaking that loudly, but yeah, you could. It's a pretty echoey corridor, so you can hear female voice and Sisora's in his
Yeah, as he's
native
backing
language.
backing out of the darkness into the light of the lantern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just going to keep backing away?
Yeah.
Okay. The light of the lantern is getting stronger. You can see it gleaming behind you. But then you step back into someone or something else. Right.
Would this be Guido the Killer Pimp?
Combat, essentially. So this thing behind you gets a free attack. Okay. What's your defense? 10, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Right. You're so wary and so on alert that when suddenly talons attempt to drive into you from behind, you manage to twist and duck and get out of the way. Right. Now we're on normal actions. So, Sisora, you'll go. And you,
Do I see
you,
what?
you
see
guys-
What it was?
well, you whirl round, and there's a vaguely feminine, shadowy shape with taloned hands behind you, and the rest of you can sort of see Sisora, and that the shadows have coalesced around him into a pair of taloned feminine figures, and seem to be attacking him, so you can all react on your actions. But Sisora's up first.
Get ready to rumble. Get the twins out. Even though I think I would have had the twins out.
I assumed you already had them out, so you can make an attack if you want.
Yeah. Sword of Order, Slash, and the Gladius for parry.
Okay. Right, make your attack roll.
4.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot to add their defense. Defense is 14, so
So I got 4. So
18. That should be a hit. Okay. Roll to no, they've got no armor. Roll damage.
that is a 6.
Okay. So yeah, you duck and weave around the talon strikes, twist around and strike forward with your sword, hitting the shadow in the belly. The shadow sort of dissipates and peels off like smoke, and the creature reacts with a high-pitched shriek from the touch of Valandar's sword. Right. How do you want to split your defense between the two of them?
5 and 5.
Okay.
And that's for 2 as well, because I've got Mind Gotch.
Yeah. Okay. Your armor wards off one of the blows. The talons just scrape across the scales of the armor that you're wearing without penetrating. However, the second set of talons do drive into you, take 3 wounds from the blow. And it's like all the heat has been sucked out where the talons struck.
Here's your view, anyone?
Yeah. Right. Elaine, you see this happening.
I'll run after Sisora and
Okay. You can
Seeing
reach.
as,
You can
seeing
reach
as
the realized one.
I have the lantern, I assume, because Becca has a two-handed sword.
Yeah.
Abbas is using a spear, and I'm the only person who, therefore, could be able to have a free hand at this point.
Yeah. So, the one that's closest to you is the one that Caesaur's been engaging, so has no defense. So you can just make an attack on that one if you wish.
Yes.
Okay.
What does it look like? What do I see?
It's like the silhouette of a shapely woman thrown against a wall by a bright light, but solid and 3-dimensional.
Well, it's gonna die because I rolled a 1.
Okay, roll damage twice.
15 total.
But okay, yeah, you charge up. In the bright light, the shadow grows stronger and more distinct, more solid even, and then you plunge your sword clean through it, and it just evaporates into vapor, utterly destroyed. Becca's turn.
Right. Have you pulled to Zora? I should rush down there.
Yeah.
No.
You can reach if you do a stabbing strike.
Yeah.
Okay, take
Yeah.
take 14 away from your attack and roll.
Call that a lie, don't they?
Yeah.
5 as a hit.
Okay, and damage.
Armor through, is it?
Yeah, they've got no armor.
Six hits. Just a scratch.
Yeah, so you just stab forward and plunge your blade into the creature's shoulder.
The best. Do you still have that relic, and that could be useful. But
Yeah, against
I
demons.
certainly do, yeah.
It's
If it's
Abbas's go.
yeah, if these are demonic creatures, I'm not sure if they are.
I think it only works against undead from my experience.
Yeah, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I'm the gander, sorry. Never resist that. That's my IT crash. I wonder if holy water would work on these things.
Well, you can try.
I shall give it a whirl. I have a flask.
Yep.
I will attempt to fling some holy water out of the flask at one of the creatures.
Okay. Right, so you charge up, fiddling with the cap on this thing, with your spear rattling around in its sheath, and just hurl the contents of the flask. It splashes everybody, gets everyone wet, and when it strikes this shadowy creature, it sears and burns its flesh, and it dissolves away into nothing.
Wicked Witch of the West Elder.
Yeah. Now, behind these things, at the very end of the corridor, now that you've cleared them out of the way, is a large bronze head appearing to stare at you with steely metallic eyes and grinning with great chiseled bronze teeth.
Oh, so Zora, why don't you put your hand in there? See, there's some treasure in there.
No. Did I actually see what this entity actually looked like, Grim, at all?
No, you just saw shadows.
I've
But
been alone down here.
other than the head, there doesn't appear to be anything down here. It's just a dead end.
Does the liquid on either side of the so-called thing look like it's coming from its eye, going into its eyes or its mouth or its nose?
Seems to be running out of the wall beneath the head.
Right, okay. Point that out.
So, why would these creatures be down here? They must be protecting something, surely.
Yeah, this head.
Perhaps Perhaps something in the mouth, as you said.
If I get my hand chopped off and I die, I'm going to haunt you guys.
Don't put your hand in
Don't
there.
put your hand in there. If anyone's going to put their hand in there, it'd be me.
Well, go on then. You do it then.
Wait, who's got the
Other
invulnerable
person's got
hand
a
again?
gauntlet that will actually, survive that.
Wait a minute. We've got that gauntlet, haven't we?
What's this we? I have the gauntlet.
No, you put your hand in there then.
Then you put your hand in there. Or you can lend me the gauntlet.
Yeah, the holy gauntlet. Yeah.
Does this thing have any magical aura about it, James?
It does have a magical aura about it. And you think its eyes just twitch to look at you.
Ugh. I think this thing is alive.
Gah!
Definitely magical.
Kill it!
It appears to be made of metal, of some sort of bronze. How do you think we should kill it tonight, Sir Elaine? It's. It'd be like trying to take on that giant golem thing at the tourney again.
Oh God, not the golem again.
And stick it. Draw my sword. Drive it through this thing's head.
Okay. It is a magic sword, so if you want to spend a lot of time on this, you can smash it to bits using your magical blades.
So, assume I just hit it with the sword and...
Over and over and over, yeah. And because it's a magical sword and can slice through things that normal blades cannot, you can eventually smash this head to pieces. But it shrieks and giggles and laughs and tries to bite at the air the entire time that you do, until you reduce it to a dented, leaking mess, with this poisonous substance bubbling out of all the cracks in the head. Once you've smashed it down into bits and sort of dented it inwards, it kind of pitches forward out of the wall. So there's an empty alcove there. It had a sort of cauldron for a stomach with tiny little bronze arms and legs, like some kind of weird bronze homunculus rammed into the wall.
Ah, filthy creature.
But other than that, it doesn't reveal anything extra. You really have no other choice than to go back the way you came.
I'm
I've got some bronze chips.
just glad we rid this earth of another, demonic entity.
Right, so going back towards the double doors, can you all make a perception roll, please? Just D20 under your perception.
Yeah, I did it.
Okay.
No.
Yes, I succeed. Aha.
Okay, so at least someone succeeded. Right, so passing back down the corridor, this poisonous substance is just flooding down and spilling over the runnels now. About halfway down the corridor, you notice that it's spreading further than the side of the corridor. There must be an almost imperceptible gap here in the wall where the poison is flowing through and sort of bubbling, which suggests that there's something behind this particular section of wall.
That's odd. Look here. No point.
Oh, yeah. Perhaps there's a secret passageway.
Just, press my hand against the wall.
Okay. Right. After groping around for a while, probably with the others helping as well, you find an artfully concealed catch at the top. And when you press it across, the section of the wall comes somewhat loose, and you spin it open, revealing a short corridor terminating in another bronze door.
Peculiar. I'll open the door.
Okay, push open the door and move on, with the others coming behind you with the light. You enter a square chamber with doors to the east and the south. There is a plinth in the middle of the room, and upon the plinth is a vase.
Bars. How lovely.
Any pictures, glyphs, writing on the vase?
So you sort of move slightly to the left to take a peek. There is a jar with a lid resting against it near the plinth. Abbas can see it has a faint aura of magic around it, as does the vase. But there are no carvings or engravings or anything particular painted on the vase. It seems to be a simple, very old-styled vase.
Both these objects seem to have a slight magical aura to them. Nothing grand.
What's
What I
the
can
seal
tell.
on? Is there a seal on the vases, or is it like
The vase is open. It's fairly big. Like you could reach in with your arm without necessarily touching the side. The jar is of a similar size.
What happened to our Scottish friend, Prince friend?
Oh, he's still around. I just been forgetting. You've killed everything so quickly. He hasn't really had a chance to do much. So yeah, he's still lurking in the background.
I'll
So I
stick
forgot about him.
I'll stick my gauntlet on and have a little look in the vase.
Okay.
I don't know why you don't wear that all the time. It's very useful.
Okay. You reach in. There is a bone-chilling shriek, and some kind of shadowy form erupts out of the vase and seems to sort of spread across the ceiling. But your gauntlet clamps down on something within the jar.
I'm very occupied, whatever the hell climbed out of the vase.
Yeah, it's a sort of roiling, shadowy smoke. The temperature in the room has dropped loads. There seem to be sort of red eyes in the smoke that's glaring down at you all.
Just slash my sword at it. Ah.
Okay, it wasn't anticipating you having a magical sword. Take 4 away from your attack and roll.
Oh, actually get to... yes, I heard.
Okay, so you jump up slightly and swing with your sword. Roll damage for the sword.
9.
Okay. You don't feel any resistance, but where your sword passes, the smoke sort of ignites, catches fire, and burns away across the ceiling. Destroyed. Abbas retrieves what appears to be an amulet from inside the jar. Let me just see if there's any
I knew this
description.
gauntlet would come in handy at some point again.
Haha! Handy. Very good.
Oh, that was an accidental pun. Sorry, I didn't even realise it said that.
Did you see how I smote that demon? All by myself.
Yes, you
Right.
certainly knocked the smoke out of it.
The amulet is a fingertip-sized sparkling diamond on a white gold chain, set in a cage of white gold.
I got a shiny. Is there any can I detect any magical?
It's very magical.
Very magical.
That really narrows it down, doesn't it?
Yes.
With very magical.
With sufficient time to delve into it, or with access to Keridon, you'll be able to determine what it does.
Okay, I'll stick it in my backpack for now.
Okay.
Out of all the items that we've actually found so far, that gauntlet is the one that I really want.
Okay, so you can go north, back to the long, poison-flooded corridor. You can go east through a door, or you can go south through a door.
Is the bowl still there as well, James?
The jar, yes, the jar's still there.
Yeah.
It's faintly magical as well.
Right. After what just happened, I'm not touching that one.
Does anyone else want the jar, or do you want to move on?
Not particularly.
Okay. So, back the way you came.
Press onwards.
East or south?
East? Anyone?
East, yeah.
Yep. Right. You nudge open the door and look within. This is a high vaulted room. Its ceiling lost in the shadows. That's you peering in with the door open. Is there anything else in here? No, that's all you can see from out here.
Yes. Keep going in.
Okay. Right, you step forward inside. What's your reflexes? 16, isn't it? No, yeah, 16, isn't it?
16.
Okay, roll d20 and try and get equal to or under your reflexes.
I could not have rolled any lower. I rolled a 1.
Okay, so as you step into the room, you feel a sudden shift in gravity, like it's reversed, and you feel yourself being pulled up towards the ceiling, but you manage to grab hold of the door frame and hold on. So you're now sort of dangling upwards from the door.
I don't like this. Pull me back.
I'll grab him and put him back.
Yeah, once you're back out of the room into the corridor, gravity reasserts itself and you fall back down to your feet. Thump.
World seems to be upside down in that chamber. Not using the word gravity because we don't know what that is.
The world turned upside down.
Perhaps we could tie a rope and climb to the ceiling.
Oh, that's a good idea, yeah.
Okay.
I'll be the anchor. I'll hold the rope.
Okay. And who's going to do the exploring part?
I'll explore.
Yeah, go for it. You're
Okay. So you tie the rope around your middle, carefully step inside. Gravity abruptly changes. And you sort of carefully let yourself up on the rope. There's a small amount of light from the lantern spilling into the room. Soon your eyes adjust. And if you think of the ceiling as the floor, then there are several chests here. Many of them are open. One of them isn't. And there is a scattering of skeletons all around the ceiling as well. Well, to you it's the floor.
Ooh, there's lots of chests in here. We might have hit the jackpot, fellas.
Yeah,
Unless they're all trapped.
indeed. Do you sense any magical sources in there?
Do I, James?
There's a faint magical aura coming from the chest, but also from the floor. To you it's the ceiling, to everyone else it's the floor.
Yes, from the chest, a faint magical aura, but the floor and the ceiling in here are a bit topsy-turvy, to put it bluntly.
Perhaps you can see what's in the chest, but if anything awry happens, we'll pull you back.
Okay.
Okay. So move over to the
Do
chest.
if I'm doing the exploring, does that mean I've got the lantern?
You can go and get it if you want, but I assumed someone else was holding on to it.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to check.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try. If it's not got a lock on it, I might try and prise the chest open with the spear. Is all.
Yeah.
I assumed you were using your dark vision ability,
Oh,
whatever
true.
that is.
I'd have to cast that first.
Yeah.
Then you would need the lantern, wouldn't you?
I'll tell you what. I'll cast the spell on myself first,
Okay.
just to be on the safe side.
Make an exhaustion roll.
Okay. Dark side. So that's rank 2. Just a second. Let me do the math after all this math we did earlier. Under 15. I was going to try rolling on a percentile dice, and that's not right. On a d20. Natural 20. Right. I will be exhausted, but it will work.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
does take effect. I just can't cast
So
anything
you're
else.
mentally drained from staring at everything to see whether it's magic or not.
Looking at those freaking numbers.
Yes. But you can see. Okay. And then you want to prise open the chest with your spear, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Trying to make some sort of strength check or not?
No, you can do it easy enough. So yeah, you stick the blade of the spear in and twist. The chest opens, and a handful of small glittery objects fall upwards from your perspective. And at the same time, they sort of fall through the middle of the floor in that room. Well, to you it's the ceiling, but to everyone else it's the floor. So you open the chest, a handful of small glittering objects fall upwards from your perspective, downwards from everyone else's, and they pass through the middle of the floor.
And they just disappear?
And they disappear.
Okay. There is some treasure in this chest, but other than that, it kind of disappeared through the floor from my perspective. Like the ceiling, from my angle, the floor to you.
You saw it. It went through the hole in the ground.
There's a hole in the ground?
I think so.
Presumably, it seemed to pass through solid rock, but that can't be true.
We didn't have any magic mushrooms before we came in this room, did we? Someone's not been at the herbalist garden again.
Is there anything else in that chamber?
Yeah, just the room. Actually, the entire room. Does it give off any sense of magical aura at all? I'm just wondering if
the whole anti-gravity thing seems to be magical, which is kind of throwing off your ability to detect any other magic. You can root around a bit. The skeletons are stuck to the ceiling as if gravity is reversed. But you notice that none of these skeletons, even though a lot of them have rags and so on them, none of them seem to be carrying any weapons or any coins, which is a bit odd if people were trapped here, and not all of the bodies are that ancient. You'd expect them to have some treasure or weapons or trappings of that sort on them, but none of them seem to. The other chests are all empty.
I think we best leave this room alone, fellows. Could you pull me back in?
All right.
I really do feel this room is rather troublesome and difficult to navigate, to put it bluntly.
Yeah, difficult to describe, which is
a
pain in the ass. All right, so you're pulled back on the rope, and once you get back into the corridor, gravity reasserts itself. So that leaves you with the choice of going back the way you came or continuing south from the square room with the vase.
Let's go southwards.
Okay, another set of bronze double doors. So there's a short corridor that terminates in some steps leading down. And it also has a junction going off to the east.
Would going eastward make us turn left?
Yes, it would.
I
You're
think I
facing
know
south.
which way we should go.
Okay, so a lane in front still?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take the lead.
Yeah. Okay.
Seeing as Zora's wounded.
Yeah. 1 second.
Do you want to hold the lanterns, Zora?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
I will hold my shield.
Okay. Right. The end of this corridor ends with a stone slab which grinds upwards as you approach it. The stone tile beneath your feet sort of went in slightly, and that caused the stone to rise. Inside, there's a round room with curved tiles set into the walls. That's a remarkable feat of stonemasonry. It has slimy, moss-covered walls. There's a salty smell in the air. And weirdly, because you are many, 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 many leagues from the sea, there's dried, crispy patches of seaweed here and there. There is a leather scroll case lying in the center of the room.
I'll walk forwards and pick up the scroll case.
Okay. It rattles. There's a scroll in it.
I'll open up and see what's on the scroll.
Okay. It has a faint aura of magic to Abbas's eyes. And it has an inscribed spell in the arcane tongue of the sorcerers.
It's just a bunch of gibberish.
Shiny gibberish. And a nice scroll case. The scroll case is waxed and treated, and you don't think it's normal leather. It seems thicker. It's like it has a very dense, oily coat on top of it. Sealskin, maybe.
I don't know, so it's not human skin then.
No.
Can anyone make sense of this?
Abbas can tell you that it has powerful magic, but not exactly what it is. You'll have to get it back to Keridon.
Perhaps you should take this for now. I
No,
don't.
I'll keep it safe for Keridon.
I don't. I'm not familiar with magic. What else is in the room?
That's it. Doron, who's been uncharacteristically silent, breathes in the salty air and goes, "Aye. Reminds me of home. Many days to the south now."
Yes, I live near the seafront. Do I? Is Braylac near the sea?
So it's on an estuary.
Yes, I live in an estuary apparently.
I just remembered.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Just head back.
yep,
There's
doesn't
nothing
seem to
else
be
here.
anything else here but to head further south. I missed a room, so let's throw it in here. And none of you would be any the wiser if I hadn't said anything. Okay, this is a rectangular room after you go down the steps, with another door in the south. A helmet stands in an alcove. 1 second, I need to find a description for it. So it's an old style iron helm such as the reavers and other ancient people used to wear, but it is remarkably untroubled by age or rust. There is an embossed serpent wound around the helm, with its head terminating at the top of the helm, and it has many tongues, many forked tongues coming out of its head. It's very stylish.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just sort of sat there on this plinth in an alcove on a wooden helmet stand.
Can I detect any magical aura?
Yes, it's very magical.
Looks quite nice, in fact. Perhaps you should pick it up with your gauntlet.
Gauntlet of immunity, that's what I'm going to call it.
The Fist of Fun.
That sounds like some sort of BDSM thing.
Okay, so you're picking up in...
I'll very tentatively pick it up by... Did you say it was a horned helmet or not? Sorry.
No, it's...
No, sorry. It's just steel.
Okay, yeah, you pick it up. As you pick it up, you notice behind it there's a small hammered copper box as well. But you pick up the helm, no boulders immediately fall on you, no lightning, no fire. You're just holding this helmet, and there's this box behind it.
Does anyone want to hold on to this while I go look at this box that I've just discovered?
Yeah, I'll hold it here.
So you take hold of the helmet and hold it under your arm. You open the little copper box, and inside is a small folded, embroidered piece of cloth. Somewhat faded with age and a little bit mildewy, despite being in a box safely ensconced underground. Sorry, ensconced. And if you look at the end of the character sheets, the second picture is what is depicted on the cloth.
NESW, northeast, southwest.
Yeah, and it's folded in quarters, as is depicted there.
What's the secret passageway on the eastern wall, Jim?
So is there one?
No, the secret passageway, Sarah Lane found, was it on the eastern wall?
It was on the southern wall.
Okay.
Do you want to do anything with the helmet or the cloth, or do you want to carry on south?
I'd like
I'll try it on.
check the...
Try it on.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Looks stylish. This is Becca's.
It's very
thing.
swish. What's your magical defense?
Oh. I think it's 7.
7. Okay. You put on the helmet, and you hear a host of babbling voices shouting and chanting and screaming at you from every direction. But eventually it stops.
Whoa! What a rush!
You all right, Becca?
Yeah, just being the public lesson time.
When Becca speaks, none of you can understand it. Each word seems to be in a different language.
Becca, we can't hear you.
No speak Dago.
We don't understand what you're saying.
What? But Becca, you can understand them perfectly.
I'll just make some sort of gesture using my hands saying, take the helmet off.
Oh, I'll take it off.
Okay, you slide the helmet off. It's like it's adjusted itself to exactly your size, which is very nice. But yeah, you take it off, and you can speak normally again.
What's your problem?
I couldn't understand a word you were saying.
When you put the helmet on, it does something to your voice.
Oh, it's a lovely fit.
I was going to say just before you put that on your head, we should check it out before we make any rash decisions.
Well, it seems safe enough, doesn't it? Checked out, isn't it?
Apart from the fact,
Sir Elaine, I have a thought. You know, when earlier on when we touched the statue, we couldn't understand a word it was saying. I wonder if this helmet could actually help us make us one of us understand what they're saying.
Quite possibly.
it's a good idea.
I'm not sure about this parchment, what it means though.
It's folded into 4, perhaps, and it says north, east, south, west on it. So perhaps when you make it into a rectangle.
But then there's 3 boxes in each. In each
perhaps
segment as well.
Perhaps when we come to a room with those markings on the wall, this map will make sense.
I'm just waiting for a challenge involved playing the organ next.
I know it's getting late, but there's only a couple of rooms left to delve in this dungeon, so hopefully you're all alright with sticking around to finish it.
Yeah. Should we backtrack to the statues and see
so with the helmet you can check out the statues. There is a passage further on to the south here, and there is still that double doors north of the statue hall.
What do you guys want to do? Backtrack to the statues or keep exploring?
Statues first, then the other room.
Okay.
Alright.
So, statues, then back into this sort of secret set of chambers, and then finally the last double doors. Okay. Right, you head back to the hall with the statues. Just to remind you, there's the poet, the philosopher, the musician, the navigator, the dancer, the speaker, the painter, and the animal trainer.
Well, I should put on the this lid, and
you hear the babble again, but much more subdued now, and then it fades away.
But I'll touch the column with the animal trainer on it.
Okay. The statue speaks to you and imparts several words of wisdom. It's like the words are a shorthand for concepts, and they sort of worm their way into your consciousness.
Well,
you feel that your attunement with animals, particularly tame ones that you've tamed, or tame animals as a whole, you feel that your attunement with animals has massively increased. You think your mount will obey you precisely from now on, and the same for any other beast that you can render under your control.
I now know Kung Fu.
Yes. Abbas, the animal training statue no longer has any magic in it.
Whatever Becker just did, it seemed to work because the magical charge the statue appears to have was gone.
That's quite remarkable.
Perhaps
this helmet allows us to channel its... Oh, sorry, that was an echo. It was distracting. Perhaps these statues allow us to channel some sort of its power into us through the helmet.
Certainly.
Yeah, I'll take off the lid, and I said to them, it was it spoke to me, but not in words, and I learnt something. It was like I was with an old master.
Ian, it's echoing.
I'll mute.
Okay. So what next?
Perhaps we should try it with the other statues. There's a poet, philosopher, musician, a navigational person, a dancer, a speaker, and a painter. Does anyone else want to try it?
I'll have a go.
Okay.
I'll try the navigation one.
Don the helmet. What's your magical defense?
17.
That's my attack. My magical defense is 7.
Oh,
No, but when you try the philosopher, how about that might.
Well, yeah, I'll try the philosopher.
Okay.
Yeah.
You put on the helmet. You hear this cacophonous, deafening set of voices, and you're rendered, unintelligible. Which one were you going to touch?
The philosopher.
Okay. You place your hand against the philosopher statue, and she speaks to you and imparts great and wonderful knowledge to you. Deep and inherent knowledge of occult and supernatural matters, but also makes you more skeptical, less faithful. But from now on, you have a +2 resistance against fright attacks, vampiric mesmerism, and any other similar mind-affecting power caused by monsters or magic. So,
Sweet. I knew this helmet was good for something.
that's what she said.
I'll take it off my head and then offer it to Sir Elaine or our shifty pet or our shifty friend.
I'll try it.
Okay. What's your magical defense?
7.
Okay. You hear the same deafening cacophony of voices, and you're rendered unintelligible. Which one do you want to touch?
Maybe the speaker.
The speaker. Okay. You press your hand against the statue, and she speaks to you, imparting you with great knowledge of how to speak and to persuade and how to use your natural leadership upon others. Basically, you gain the effect of the of a charm spell against people of lower rank than you in non-combat situations.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Handy.
I take the helmet off.
No, you don't. It won't come off.
Brilliant. I can't take it off.
Jibber jibber
Or
cluck cluck.
as they hear, Alan Telecantor.
Oh no!
I think somebody failed their magical defense test.
At last, he makes some sense.
We'll need some butter, a vice, and 3 oxen.
That's what he said.
Kilo.
Hold still, Elaine.
And a bucket
I'll just
full of
cut it
soapy
off for
frost.
you. I'll just cut it off for you at the neck.
Get me the largest tub of Vaseline known to humankind.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to get that off without a dispel magic of some kind.
Okay, well, I can't do that yet, can he? She.
No, don't believe so. Hang on. Let me check.
Perhaps the old witch in the city can do it.
Mother McCready. Aye.
I'm gonna make like a gesture, a writing gesture.
Okay. Doron hands you some parchment and a pencil, or a piece of charcoal or something.
I'll try to write something down.
What are you trying to write?
What about the other statues?
Okay, when you read it back, it's gibberish. Would you like to come back to my place, bouncy, bouncy?
Brilliant. Brilliant.
And you try writing a bit more, but it just all comes out as gibberish. My hovercraft is full of eels.
Oh well.
Yeah, gestures work though.
I point to the other statues and then shrug.
Yeah,
I'll
you
point,
can't.
I'll point to the navigator one and go,
Out of character. Wait, no, that's out. That's against the spirit of the game, isn't it?
Mm. Feel free to describe your gestures and expression, though.
I point like at everybody here and just be like, I don't know. I'm bad at this.
Make like a tree and leaf. Is that the is that the basis of it? There is still that one remaining. Two remaining chambers you haven't been into yet.
Yeah, should we go back to where we were and I can smell the gold in there. I can smell it.
You can smell it. It's close. All right. With Elaine occasionally gibbering to himself in nonsense, you make your way back through, and you find yourself in a perfectly square room. Its walls marked with the old runes that used to denote the cardinal points of the compass, and there is an elaborate brickwork pattern spread across all the walls.
No.
Now this is where the parchment comes in.
Yeah.
Oh, not another puzzle. We need Sir Elaine's brains, and we can't understand a word he's saying. This should be fun.
But I can toss.
The bricks are marked, aren't they? The bricks are marked
They
on
are
the parchment.
on the embroidered little piece of cloth. Yeah.
There are like a pattern of 3 of them. All in sequentials, all in like 2, 1 up, 1 down, and then 1 like 2 in a row to the left, then 1 on its own in the middle to the right.
Yeah. First I'll use my dagger or hand axe.
Yeah. Okay. So you cross-reference it against the thing. Find one of the bricks. Prise it open. The first one contains weirdly a solid gold apple core. You prise open the others. You find vials of potions. You find amulets.
Wow.
There's an ornate dagger behind one of them. There's a silver apple core behind another one. Several scrolls. There's a good chunk of treasure here. There is also an extremely well-preserved ancient map, and when you look at it, things that are drawn on the map are shifting slightly, but it appears to show a pass through the mountains of Brack, but it's also showing the weather in this area. There's a doodle of the moon in one corner of the map that seems to match to the current state of the moon as you remember it. So it seems to be a magical map of this area of the land, of the mountains of Brack, that will guide you through the pass.
It's like some sort of messed up Marauders map from Harry Potter.
Yeah, kind of. Actually, there's nothing in the last room, so we can wrap there. I will put out the various points of treasure and so on, and I'll be extra nice and say there's some kind of anointing oil that can dispel the helmet and let you get it off Elaine's head. So, does anyone else want to try their luck with the helmet on any of the statues before we wrap?
What statues are they?
Statues that are left. include poetry, music, navigation, dancing, and painting.
I'll go for the navigation.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you speak up?
Navigation one, Grim.
Okay. So you don the helmet. Its sting is now dispelled. Deafening cacophonous voices, then the soft speech of presumably the woman that the statue is of, imparting you the ability to identify any constellation or single star in the night sky, or to judge your approximate position by the angle of the sun and the time of day. So you will never stray more than 5 degrees off course or 10 miles from your path on a journey.
I thought that would have been the sextant.
You said navigation.
Yeah, I thought that was. Oh yeah. My bad. Yeah,
No
that's
problem.
fine.
Okay, so has everyone had one of these then? They have, haven't they?
Yes.
Doron dons the helmet and touches the dancing one.
Oh,
And then when he's finished and takes off the helmet again, he seems to have gained a great deal of grace. Don't let the piss out of me. I'm going to have to do dancing at court when I'm king. Never had the fucking time. And he does a deft little spin.
That leaves 3 more.
Yes, but it seems that you cannot use one more than once. Do you want to take the helmet with you, though?
yeah.
Yeah.
Who's going to lay claim to the helmet?
Me.
No, you get everything.
You already got a helmet, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it serviceable? Is it arming?
Yeah, it'll protect you. Yeah.
Well, I think it meets Becca's style. Really.
I'm gonna make a case for me having the helmet if it's defensive. If it increases defense.
It won't actually increase your defense because.
Okay, then fine. You can have it if you want.
Okay.
You seem like it.
Right.
But like, it's because I seem to focus like on being in front of everybody and like making things attack me.
Yeah.
That's
So you
why
wanna-
I'm constantly increasing my defense.
So you want to increase your defensive factors and your ability to draw aggro, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll wrap there for tonight. Next session, we'll be passing through the mountains of Brack. I'm occupied this weekend. So there won't be a session this weekend, and we were only going to do twice a week. So it'll be next Tuesday. So let me know ASAP if you'll be free then. Yeah, and we'll leave it at that. I'll sort out your XP and divvy up the rest of the treasure appropriately. Cool. Thanks for playing, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Anytime. I'll see you soon.
Man.
Bye.
Poodle tip.
See you later.